Hey Trackies, welcome back to another video. So I'm going to be wrapping things up from the Velocity Fest, my final thoughts, throwing in a few events that I did not cover in other videos. So the men's 100 meters, Ackeem Blake, he's coming through. He's letting you all know that, hey, I'm definitely in the conversation week in, week out. He's laying down very, very solid performances. And this week, goes sub 10. I believe this is the second fastest time in 2025 behind Akane Simbine with his 9.90. 9.96! Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm excited for him. This was done in a positive 1.7 meters per second wind. Nonetheless, guys, absolutely excited for Ackeem Blake. Those 200 meters are definitely paying off. His form is immaculate. He's been looking good through every phase, start, middle, end, looking very, very strong. And he's literally solidifying himself as part of the big three conversation. Oh my gosh, not me using big three for y'all to come at me. Oh, big three can only be used when we talk about Shelly Elaine and Sharika. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, nonetheless, it definitely solidifies himself in the conversation when we talk about people that hold a spot in the men's 100 meters, barring any setbacks, barring any injuries. One of those athletes, clearly Kishane Thompson, clearly Oblique Seville, barring any setbacks, these athletes pretty much guaranteed to book a spot on the team. And Ackeem Blake in 2025 has definitely been putting in the work, and yes, solidifying himself as one of those people that will be on that men's 100-meter team. Now his personal best is 9.89 seconds, and everything that I've seen so far is definitely telling me that he is going to smash that personal best in 2025. Clearly, the men's 100-meter field is stacked, and everybody's actually very close together too, separated by mere hundredths of a second when it comes to personal best, even season's best. Right, they're very, very close. So not gonna lie to you, it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy for him to one, make it to a championship final, and also, when it comes to vying for an actual medal, not gonna be easy. But I definitely think he's putting himself in the conversation week in, week out. I was very, very impressed by this 9.96 seconds. Now, taking second in the race was Nigel Ellis. Finally, dear God, I don't know how long may I wait for Nigel Ellis. Nigel Ellis finally showing me something that I've been waiting on for years. So he runs a 10.11 season's best. I'm here for it. Brian Lavelle was third in the race and he ran a 10.19. What I will say is that for Brian Lavelle in the heat, he gave me a stronger execution for sure, right? He ran, I believe, a 10.09 in the heat, and the wind wasn't much different. I believe that was a positive 1.9. This was a positive 1.7. So not much difference in terms of the wind. But I definitely thought his final phase in the finals of the men's 100 wasn't as strong. So clearly not as solid when it comes to him technically executing. Doesn't really have it down pat to execute great, say in a heat race and come back in the finals and replicate, do the same thing. But for me, Chuckies, it's a work in progress. Absolutely. Last year he was able to get down to 9.99. So here what? Everything that he's doing so far is telling me that he's also, in the conversation. Well, not as much as an Akeem Blake, but for sure he's definitely much better over that 100. So I'm expecting another PB there. And also that 200, I'm looking out for that for sure. We need him there more than anything else. Absolutely. Also because, we're not really featuring another 200 in a recent time. So we definitely need him there. But I was really excited seeing Brian Lavelle 100%. So these guys are working, man. They're working, they're working, they're working. And I'm excited to see what will happen. Now, in the final B for the men's 100 meters, it was marred by quite a few false starts. And I was looking forward to Taekwondo Tracy in this race, right? But I think the false starts that were happening over and over again really threw him off. And by the time we got to the race actually going off, his execution was just not the greatest. And he finished third in the race running at 10.40. But given what I was seeing, especially if the first call and the second call of the gun, I thought he was on spot or, on target to run really good. Based on what I saw in the heats, I thought he was executing good, so I was expecting another good execution. Unfortunately, it was just marred with too many false starts, and it just felt like me at that particular point, and he just ran, just to run. You know what I mean. But I definitely think he's one that you have to keep your eye on as well. He's also one that will surprise when trials rolls around as well. So definitely never underestimate a Taekwondo Tracy when it comes to the men's 100 meters. Now, In the men's 200 meters, definitely loved what I saw here. Rasheen McDonald equally his personal best. He ran a 20:57 seconds, defeating Antonio Watson, and he ran a 21:08 seconds. Now, Rasheen is the national record holder in the 400 meters, whilst Antonio Watson is the defending world champion in the 400 meters. So, quite the interesting race there. But Rasheen McDonald got out. He literally burned the bend. It was a really, really solid bend from him. I think kind of surprised Antonio Watson to the point where when Antonio tried to get back at him, he realized he wasn't, making any inroads, and he was like, okay, cool. And he kind of eased up, all right, I'm not getting him back in this 200 meters. What I have to say I appreciate about Rasheen McDonald is that, once he's healthy, he's going to give his best, right? And he has been showing that. So I'm really happy for him, really excited for him as well. He's one that you can't underestimate. You think he's not in the conversation, and he turns up and he just walks you over the head, like what he did in that 200. He literally just walked Antonio Watson. It was really hilarious to watch him, burn him around the bend. I was like, okay, Rasheen. And of course, Antonio Watson. I think he needs this. I think he needs this type of speed being put on him. The reason why I'm saying that is because look what's going on in the 400 meters in the world. The 400 meters has now become an absolute sprint. If you're not sprinting from start to finish, no bother. Don't bother, because you're not going to be catching these guys. Even the women are sprinting hard from gun to tape. It's crazy watching how much the 400 meters has evolved, in recent times. And yeah, I definitely think he needs this baptism. I think he needed this baptism of fire, actually, to kind of wake him up, to let him realize that his first 200 is also going to have to be strong. We know that his last 200 is impeccable, right? But going up against the worst of the world to defend his world championship 400-meter title, he's going to have to get his first 200 fast. As he's going to have to react just as quickly as everybody else if he wants to be in the conversation. Plus, also get into that 43 barrier as well. I definitely think it's required for this season. The men are killing it so far in the four. So I don't really, have a problem with the times that our athletes are running so far. Again, the goal is trials, and of course, from trials, world championships. Antonio doesn't have to worry about trials. He only has to worry about world championships. So he can take his season much slower than everybody else. But the intention when it comes to executing, I want to be there in terms of him, executing really first strong 200, so that he can hopefully defend his 400-meter crown. But yeah, exciting 200 meters happening there from our men. I want to give a honorable shout out to Ashanti Moore. She competed in the 400 meter, the B final. Really liked her run, and I'm happy seeing her back as well. Now, I was a bit concerned a few weeks ago. She seemingly went down with an injury, came back now running a 54.71 PB. She's a sprinter, 100, 200. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what 2025 has for her. I definitely thought she was on target to doing much better than that she's ever done in 2025. Seeing her come back, run a 400-meter personal best, I think we're back on track, and I'm happy for her. So let's see what happens with an Ashanti Moore going forward in the women's 100 meters, 200 meters. I'm laughing already because, yeah, y'all can clap me in the comment section if you want to. It's okay. It's fine. I'm okay with it. I wouldn't be tea if I didn't go out on a limb. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'm out on that limb, and I don't think I'm returning. I have crazy thoughts. And yeah, I can't be stopped. It can't be stopped, guys. It can't be stopped. I'm literally that impressed. We did see Tia Clayton come out. She also ran the 200. Well, she ran the 200 meters, and she ran another personal best, 23.09 seconds, done in a positive zero point 0.4 meters per second wind. But coming out of that racetrack I was just, getting shivers. Literally, I am getting shivers thinking about it. And I'm like, guys, I'm putting myself out there. Well, I'm always doing that anyway. Tia is giving me 10-6. Yep, I said it. I was saying all season that, I'm seeing 10-7, can't see 10-6, but it's giving me 10-6 now. I believe she's going to skip 10-7, skipping 10-7 all the way and going straight into 10-6. It's that ridiculous. But her form and her execution over that 200 is telling me that. Don't watch it 23:09, because some of you might not be impressed with that 23:09. That 100 meters. is going to be absolutely deadly. I'm telling you. So right now her personal best is at 10.86 seconds. No, many of us believe that, she could have gone a 10.7 high from 2024. That didn't really happen. So we just have to, hold it as face value. 10.86. No, given natural progression, you would say, and her technically fixing many of the flaws that we realized in 2024 from early in 2025, we're like, okay, we're getting a solid 10.7. We're not asked about a 10.7. 10.7 now come. Did you see her start, her acceleration? Oh my gosh. And then, of course, most importantly, executing all the way through the line, form not breaking. I was like, we're definitely getting 10.7 for sure. After watching those 60s, yeah, man, I call 10.7 a long time. But the more I watch these 200s, guys, me sorry, I have jumped past 10.7 and I'm now in 10.6. Crazy, crazy, crazy thoughts. But yeah, that is where I am. And no, it definitely makes the conversation, very, very interesting from a Jamaican perspective because we're not really much up against the world yet because we have to get past trials, right? And I know when I did say the return of the big three, many of y'all thought, I was sidelining Tia and any other athlete that, is on the rise. Absolutely not. I'm just excited that the big three are returning. The big three will still have to contend with a Tia Clayton that is on the rise and any other athlete that will come up and throw down times that, will put them in the conversation. Right now, and track is, I'm not taking anybody off the table. Look here, if you can put up the time, then by all means, come out and kick down that door and boot out whoever is going to be booted out. And right now, Tia Clayton is giving she can boot out one of those big three vibes. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I may have said in the past, if one of these big three are not at their best, somebody may come in and, sneak a spot. But honestly, even if they're at their best, I'm thinking that this Tia Clayton that I'm looking at can outrightly take down someone in that big three. You know what I mean? And get a spot on the team to the World Championships. That is literally the vibe that I am getting right now. So, track is, keep your eye on Tia Clayton. I'm telling you, she's looking absolutely crazy. And she not touched the 100 all now, She hasn't ran a 100 meters all season. Think about that. Think about that. You see, when she hits that 100, she's gonna clear everybody. I can tell you that much. No. All right. So in the women's 100 meters, her twin sister Tina Clayton is also keeping herself in the conversation as well. No, she did win the women's 100 meters. Shelly Fraser Price did not run the final, and she ran at 11.17 seconds. This was done in a negative 0.9 meters per second wind. Natasha Morrison was second. She ran at 11.29. Serena Cole, interestingly, 11.30, and Kemba Nelson also 11.30, separated by the thousandths of a second. No, when I break down this race, Tina from start to finish looked very strong. Great phases all the way through. So Tina is also giving me great season ahead. Tina is also giving me that personal best that she has, 10.95, is ready to change. I believe, given what I'm seeing so far, at least I will say we can get potentially a 10.8 out of Tina this season. Let's see, what she eventually gets to at the end of the season. And by the end of the season, I mean trials, because trials is where it's really important. These girls will have to put up at trials if they want to go to the World Championships, right? Now, Natasha Morrison didn't really enjoy her final phase in this race, so she has to put it together more consistently. Sometimes her final phase is good, sometimes not. This is not one of those times her final phase was strong. Serena Cole, I have to say, she was moving. No, Serena Cole is a little bit on the heavy side, right? And it's impressive. So I believe that once she's able to shed a few of those pounds and get into, great shape when it comes to sprinting, like we have seen, Tia shed many of those pounds and no, she's lean and mean. When we get a lean, mean Serena Cole, she is going to be absolutely crazy in that women's 100 meters. For Kemba Nelson, I was really impressed with her heat race. I don't think she got the same execution in the finals. So what I will say is that this is great. Great. I think this is something to work with. Um, Yes, obviously we're going to need more consistency from race to race, but I can definitely say, given what I saw in the heat race versus in the finals, we have something to work with. I definitely think that Kemba Nelson is back in the conversation as well, and I'm excited to see what she actually does. As I said, once we get to trials, because trials is really where it matters. I think these girls are really coming out strong, and they will have something to say once we get to the actual yeah, trials. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Am I being too crazy when it comes to Tia Clayton jumping 10-7 and heading into 10-6? What do you also think about the girls that competed in the 100? Tia Clayton, Kemba Nelson, Serena Cole, Natasha Morrison. What were your thoughts on those races? Like the video, of course, Trackies, and subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.